Hello, sports fans. Larry Allen along with Scott Surratt here at the KGAS Studios as we get ready to talk about high school football. And this portion of Pigskin Preview brought to you by Worthington Air Conditioning and Plumbing. Top game in the state, really. Going to happen Friday night at Texarkana. Carthage Bulldogs, top of 4A Division I, and Pleasant Grove ranked number 1 in 4A Division II. So we're going to spend most of this time on Pleasant Grove. Last year, of course, was an outstanding ball game. Really, the Bulldogs, if you take a look, they had, in the 14 victories, there were 2 games that were extremely tight, Pleasant Grove and also Midlothian Heritage. So they're loaded again, Scott. So give us a full scouting report on the Hawks.
Yeah, they're loaded. They're, you start on their offense, and you got to start with a quarterback. He's a great player, and I mean, he runs their offense unbelievably well. And he's tough. He throws the ball really, really well. He gets hit all the time and throws it on the money. And then you go to their backs. You got some Division I backs and that are very tough and fast. And got a receiver, number 1, it's really, really fast. They got big tight ends and 40 Landon Jackson and 44 the Burris kid, and they shuffle them in there, and so they do a great job. What we call is they do a lot of misdirection. They do a lot of what we call sucker block sometimes, because right guard will be pulling right, and then they'll be pitching it left or handing the jet left and things, and so they do a good job of their schemes. And then defensively, you got to go to their front first, and it's the biggest front. It may be the biggest in the state in any class, and their nose is probably 320, and then their 2 5 techniques, 6'7", 280, or 275, and the other ones 6'5", 6'6", 260, and then Landon Jackson, they moved him out this year to an outside linebacker, and he's 6'6 and a half, 6'7", 240, whatever he is, and one of the top players in the state. And then you go with the other edge player, the other outside linebacker, number 6. He's one of their best players, if not their best player. He's a great player. And then the inside linebackers play well. The secondary moves around. Number 1's a corner also, and he can really, really run. So. We've got to be able to match the intensity and how physical they are up front, because we got some big guys up front. So we're excited how we react and see how tough we're going to play the whole game, because we know they're going to be tough. They're going to be physical, and so our challenge to our players is let's be more physical than they are.
Okay, give us 2 or 3 things that we just cannot afford to do if we hope to win the ball game.
Well, first of all, and just like any game, turnovers. If we win the turnover battle, then we'll have a real good chance to win the game. And then up front, we've got to both sides of the ball. Our D-line has to win, and then our offensive line has to win. If we lose those 2 battles in the trenches, because they are so good up front, especially defensively, then it's going to be tough to either run the ball or protect for the quarterback, and that's kind of what they bank on, is getting pressure on the quarterback when you throw it, and it's tough having 6'5", 6'6", 6'7" guys in your face, and long as they are. So we've got to keep them out and have good schemes and get the ball out of the hand some, and then take our shots when they're there. And but I think we'll play well.
Last year, Scott, they ran the clock down really to under 5 seconds on most snaps. And I asked you 2 weeks ago, or a week ago, if you thought they were going to do it again, and you said you weren't for sure. Got any ideas now?
Yeah, I'm not sure. We're ready for both, and if they want to play a slow game, we call it a slow game, and not many snaps. We only got like 40 snaps last year. And we just got to execute whatever snaps we get, and it's going to be key for the defense to get them off on 3rd down, especially on 3rd down. If we get them in 3rd down, we got to get them off and get them off the field and make them punt, and we got to get the ball. But there's no secrets. That's like every game, but it's more important on these guys that try to milk the clock, because you only get so many possessions. And then so we're like I said, we're excited. Our defense, I mean, we've got to be excited. It's a new challenge. It's a different challenge. You're going to have to tackle well. We're going to have to tackle well. Our secondary is going to tackle well. Everybody's going to tackle well, and then they cover well. They throw it better than any wing T that I've seen, and because they do a great job in their passing schemes, and they'll throw it on any down.
You haven't mentioned their kicking game yet. What about that?
I believe it's number 14. He does a good job kicking. Of course, the punter's the quarterback, and he's left-footed. He's so, we worked on all kind of fakes and all that stuff, and watching him for the fake, and he can punt too. So, just a good athlete. Watching
for the fake punt. How about onside kicks?
They do. They onside kick probably I want to say 5 or 6 times this year, and they've gotten one, I believe, on tape, maybe 2, but I think just only one. But they've gotten close about 3 or 4 more times. But we'll be lined up correctly for it. We just got to hope it bounces our way and make plays.
All right, now for fans, we don't go up there very often, and you know the area real well. Tell us about the stadium. First of all, is it at the high school campus, and directions to get there?
Well, I'm not sure about the directions. I mean, but I'm sure it's on every website or anything. But I've actually only been in the stadium one time, and never played in it. And but I believe our JV played over there. But it's a nice stadium. It's just not very big. When I mean big, I think it holds 3,500 people, and so that's going to be interesting. And but they're going to let everybody in, and I think you probably saw it. They're going to encourage everybody to bring the blankets just in case they don't get seats, and they're going to put them on the hill, and they got a big bowl, so it'll hold, I'm sure, tons. It may be packed. I mean, so I'm sure the stands are going to be full quickly. I know they lined up this morning at 5:30 for tickets. So it's going to be it'll be fun. I mean, it's kind of that game we want, kind of game we need, kind of our program where it's what we like to play in, and we've got to see how some players react in situations like this, and under pressure, and with a lot of people in the stands are watching, and because they're going to be the better you are, the more you play in the playoffs, then they come out of the woodworks, and then there's a lot of eyes always watching you. So this is when you play these games, so you'll be ready for those pressure moments in the playoffs.
Now, I don't know if you said this, I didn't catch it. Is it at the high school?
It is at the high school.
Okay.
It is at the high school.
Now, on social media, reading quite a bit about Landon Jackson. Sounds like they've moved him around quite a bit this year. He used to be an outside linebacker. Any other places he goes?
He plays some tight end, but now he's been outside linebacker predominantly, and then they put his hand on the ground a few times this year, and we're ready. Hopefully we're ready for all of them. I mean, you're never saying, okay, we're just going to take him out of the game. You don't take a great player out of the game. You hope to limit his plays, and so because he's made plenty so far this year, maybe he's tired of making them. He's made a lot, and but he'll be our focus. He and 6, and I mean we got to focus on 44 and 48, and the big nose guard. I mean there's so many guys that we have to focus, and then there's obviously offensively same thing. You got to start with number 10, the quarterback, and then you go to number 2 and 6 and 34, 21. I mean, there's so many backs. They have so many backs they send in there. So we just got to play football and tackle well.
Now, you know a lot of people in Texarkana, and a lot of people know you. How special is this game to you?
Very.
Very.
Very. It's like kind of going home, being there in Texarkana and coached at Texas High. And honestly, Pleasant Grove was kind of a down years when I was there. And matter of fact, they hired Kevin Davis because they were down, and and he did well there. But they're at a different level now, and they've done a great job. And they've opened enrollment over there. There was closed enrollment when I was at Texas High, and so you had to live now they can live in Texas High's district or whatever, but sit out a year or whatever. But so it's a little bit different, and they've done a phenomenal job, and so we're excited. But it's very, very important. I got a lot of people going to be there, and so it's very important to me. It's very important to the team, and we're blowing this thing up a little bit more than we used. Last year we didn't blow it up at all. Mm-hmm. Just we just come off the Gilmer game, and we didn't blow it up. We wanted to blow it up a little bit more. We didn't feel like we played our best at Gilmer. Left a lot of points out there and gave them too many points, and so we'll see how we react.
Now, in February, we've got the realignment coming up again, so aren't we getting pretty close to turning in our numbers to the UIL?
Yeah, it'll be in November.
In November, mm-hmm. Okay. All right. And what's it looking like as far as you know? You hear rumors that we're dropping down to Division II?
I think it'll be close like this last time. We were only 4 over the number this last time, and I think it's going to be the number usually moves up, but we got a little more enrollment, so I think it's either way.
Okay. All right. Okay. Any final words, Coach?
No, just excited. It's going to be a great atmosphere, and this is what you play for, coach for, and this is what the fans want to see in these kind of games, and hopefully we perform well, and I think we will. I think we're excited, and I think we'll get after it.
All right, very good. Kickoff 7:30 up at Texarkana. Friday night, the Hawks and the Bulldogs. If you can't join us in person, we'll be on the air at 7 o'clock with a look at the starting lineups. For Coach Surratt, I'm Larry Allen. Have a great weekend, everyone.